Hey, what's up everyone? You good? This is Hyunmin Jung from HMJ Photography. So, there's a camera that I really love, but I don't use as often as I wish I was, and the camera is Hasselblad 503CX. The reason why I don't use this camera so often is that I'm a street photographer and I usually gravitate more towards smaller cameras like my Leica M bodies. And look at this, the size difference is quite obvious. But today, I wanted to use my Hasselblad for street photography. So let's go. What I actually quite like with this camera is that it has waist level viewfinder. So unlike other normal cameras, you don't have to go like this. You can just look inside the screen from here, and you can just shoot. There are a lot of ways to measure your exposures, but what I usually like to do is just use my compact digital cameras to simulate my exposures. So today is a very hot weather here in Fukuoka, Japan. When you're out on the streets taking street photography, please don't forget to rest once in a while, because if you just keep on going and going, you could easily forget that you're dehydrating, and it could get very tiring, and you might end up hating yourself. So yeah, um, I had a great time taking street photography with this monster-like camera Hasselblad, and yes, I got the developed films and I scanned the films, and what I realized, I mean, I knew this already, but because this film uses 120 format film, which is much bigger than these 35 millimeter films, um, the quality of the image you can get is just mind blowing. It's really amazing. And also, what I really liked about using this camera on the streets is, I mean, I already said this on this video, but the fact that I can use this camera on a waist level with a waist level viewfinder, that I don't have to bring up the camera like this. What I personally think is that, like, when there's like a lot of people on the streets, which in this case there wasn't so many, but in the streets, like, when you bring your camera up to your eyes like this and start taking pictures, that is when, like, people get really aware that you're taking pictures, and that's when, like, some people might start getting uncomfortable. But with waist level viewfinder, you don't have to bring up the camera like this. So I personally think that people are gonna feel less intimidated by this camera, although it's a huge camera. So yeah, I really like this waist level viewfinder for the streets. And of course, like, what I don't like is the size and the weight of this camera. Again, like, compare these two cameras. It is pretty obvious, and the weight, I mean, of course, it might not be obvious to you, but it is obvious to my hands. This camera is very heavy. I mean, even with my Leica, like, when some people hold this, like, they say, "Oh, it's quite heavy," but this one is in a whole new level. I mean, compared to like other Mamiya cameras or something like that, it may be smaller and it may be lighter, but still, it's a big camera. So that I don't really like this. I don't. That's what I don't really like about this camera on the streets. I mean, I love this camera, just not on the streets so much. I mean, personally, I really think that this camera was not really designed to be a camera for street photography. Um, I think that this camera belongs in like a studio where you can control the lightings and everything, or maybe like in a nature settings where you can put the tripods and take your time and take a photo. Also, because this film uses a 120 film, you can only shoot 12 pictures a roll with this camera, which is really not that much when you think about the film prices going up and up and up. So, well, when you think about it a little bit differently, you get to take time and like really think about your photos, which is really nice. But also, because you can't take so much pictures, maybe like compared to like these 35 millimeter film cameras, um, I think there could be more possibilities that you might miss the shot. So again, for street photography, I really think like this Leica M bodies or these Ricoh GR cameras are much better. Um, like recently, I didn't really have much shootings in like a studio kind of environment, so there wasn't much chances that I could use this camera. So this time, like I really love this camera, you know. So like I wanted to take out this camera and use it. So that's why I decided to make a video about street photography with Hasselblad. Well, I mean, it's like personally, I don't think it's a very good street photography camera, but for some other people, they might think otherwise. So it's really your personal choice. But yeah, what I can really say is that although I don't think this is a perfect street camera, the experience I had this time taking this Hasselblad on the streets, it was very fun. And of course, like the images I got were very rewarding too. So yeah, it was really nice. Thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, and share. Until next time.